Welcome to Mustard Cat Sports, folks. I'm your host today, Lucas TA. We don't got a guest today, no guests at all. You just got to deal with me, my squeaky chair, and we're going to talk just a little bit of football. We've been talking more football in general these last few podcasts since the beginning of the year, just because it's playoff season. NFL is on its way out, so we're going to try and ram as much in there as possible. And then after that, we'll have a lot more basketball. And I'm wearing a nice hockey jersey. The Sharks, that's my team. They're in the Downy Dumps, but I don't care. Other than that, got myself a wonderful drink here. Um, a Mountain Jack, if you didn't know. Take a little sippy off there. But let's just get right into it. There were 4 games that happened this weekend, and I got them on my phone, so that's why I'm using it. So calm down, just calm down. See, you can see right there. That's what's happening. No script today. We're just winging it, going by the hair of our chin. So here we go. We'll just start on the first game, the Texans and Chiefs. I don't know if anyone was surprised by this one, because if you were surprised that the Chiefs won, you obviously haven't been watching football at all this season or for the past 4 years. But yeah, the Chiefs won 23-14, which honestly, if they didn't get a few calls, but they always get their calls, they always get what they want. I'd probably see this game if it actually played out like it was supposed to, and everything should have, no ref should have gotten in the way, but it happens, and it did. Probably should have been 14-6, and Texans should have won. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. You got to beat the refs because that's going to be a hard task, a very hard task, and we'll talk more about that coming up because I don't know how anyone can beat the refs, to be honest with you. But Texans tried. They okay game. I don't even think back that up yet. Stroud didn't get a touchdown. Um, Obviously Mixon was there. He gave him a touchdown, but it's the playoffs, man. If you have to, as a quarterback, you have to score one touchdown. You have to. That's a minimum. And I'm being very generous there. I would honestly say if you're a top tier quarterback and you're in the playoffs, you have to get a minimum of 2 scores yourself. It's not running it in, it's passing it in. I don't know. Either way, they didn't do great. Did they have a performance that uh, they could have probably beat the Chiefs? Yeah, I definitely do. The Chiefs didn't play very good. Switching over to Mahomes, he had 1 touchdown. Like man, I said, you just need one. 177 yards, 16 for 25. That is Patrick Mahomes in a nutshell right there. In a nutshell. Subpar, um, but he's great. He's the best out there. Moving on from there because we're going to have to come back to the Chiefs. And if you can't tell by my voice, I am not a Chiefs fan. And it's not because I'm a hater. Well, clearly I'm hating. So yeah, I'm a hater, but I'm hating because they're not good and they keep moving on because of refs and the NFL. There's no script there. That's just straight. Here you go. Go to the Super Bowl. We'll help you out. Moving on to later in that night on Saturday. Very, very surprising this. The Commanders won 45-31 against the Detroit Lions. I feel terrible for those Detroit Lions and their fans because man, they had a hell of a season. One of the best in their franchise career. They 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 shot themselves in the foot. They did it all to themselves. Yes, the Commanders played a good game. They showed up. They did their job. If the Lions didn't shoot themselves in the foot, we're talking a very high scoring game. Um, and the Lions coming out winning. You can't do that. You can't shoot yourself on the foot and still win. I do take that back. If you do shoot yourself once in the foot, you can win. It was 3 interceptions. I hadn't played like that all year, and 3 interceptions. He still came out with 313 yards, which is really good. Only 1 touchdown. Gibbs, fucking 2 touchdowns. That guy's on fire. The positive is hopefully they'll keep most of their team and they'll be able to come back with vengeance. Live and learn. It sucks. It truly sucks. I also am 110% on this reason why they lost, not just because they shot themselves in the foot. Those jerseys, and I'll pop both of them up here. And please leave your opinion on what one is better, because they should never be using these jerseys again. The jerseys they came out with, and it was their standard, what, their blue and silverish helmets that they usually are used to always wear. Garbage. Garbage. They look gross, and if you look gross, you play bad. And if you look good, you play good. And those ones they played last week, that black uniform with the bright blue helmet, freaking killer. That's a killer freaking unit. They should be rocking that all through the playoffs. They should have. If they didn't want to do that all through the regular season, I'm totally fine with that. They should have been rocking that uniform all through the playoffs. And I'll repeat it again. If you look good, you play good. That goes for anything: work, sports, dates. I'm probably missing something. Just getting up in the morning. If you look good, you feel good. You get your day rocking. I'll spill on myself there. Um, so overall, I don't really have much to say about this game. Truly, Commanders played a good game. They played a good game, and sometimes that's all you need to do is come in, play a good game, and hope the other team messes up, shoots himself in the foot, and the Lions did that. Um, yeah, there's nothing more to say, and it's not all on Goff's back. A couple drops, or just bad plays on the defense. The defense didn't show up, so it is what it is. It sucks for Lions fans. Um, hey, welcome to the NFC North, where the Vikings can't win a Super Bowl. Uh, they love having great seasons and letting their fans down. The Bears haven't been relevant since the 80s, except that one year they had Rex Grossman, and they went to the Super Bowl and lost to Peyton Manning. So besides that, really the only one is the Packers. Packers haven't been super relevant in recent past. It's been like 10 years, 10 years plus since they've been to a Super Bowl. But that's the most relevant one. Lions, you're in good company. Yeah. Moving on to tonight's, or I should say earlier today's, because I'm filming this Sunday night. We had the Eagles and Rams early on, I shouldn't say early, early afternoon on Sunday, and I was actually surprised on this one. The Eagles won 28 to 22. I was surprised how it was somewhat close. Like, obviously, the Eagles, they love to like either come out and play a damn good game, or they love to come out and just lay an egg. And right at the beginning, when they came out in that first drive, I was like, okay, the Eagles are here to play. And they had a couple fumbles, a couple drops, and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna turn into a pile of crap real quick. And they turned it around. They turned it around. Um, Kudos to them. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Philadelphia go win another Super Bowl. Everyone else, the fans of not Philadelphia, can maybe enjoy some good old fashioned Philadelphia fans tearing their city down because they're so happy. They just riot and destroy their town because they're so happy. And if you haven't seen any of that stuff, go back to when they did win the Super Bowl. I don't know when it was, 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. They were so happy. They just rioted and ripped down street poles, flipped cars. I'm getting to see that again. I don't live in Philadelphia. Probably there's people there that don't want that live there. They're like, I don't want to pay for this with my taxes. So, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the Philadelphia Eagles go to the Super Bowl and win. So, you, I'll take that, Philly. I'll take that. Then just this most recent one that we just had was the Ravens and Bills, and Bills pulled it out 27 to 25. Man, oh man, I was cheering for Lamar Jackson so bad. I wanted Lamar to get to the Super Bowl. I want Lamar to win the Super Bowl. That guy deserves it. He's a hell of a friggin' player. God damn, he can throw the ball. He can run. He's a big dude. He he's a hell of an athlete. I hope he wins another MVP this year. Um, but it sucks that they're eliminated already. And They played they played a good game, but they did shoot themselves in the foot a few times, a couple fumbles, and I just never could get back out of that. And then the Bills, on the other hand, just played a very smooth game. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary, just a smooth game. Bills came out with it. The Bills are moving on, and I don't really have anything bad to say about the Bills. I'm just the Bills have a very similar thing to them in they can't win a Super Bowl. And it's not their year again. Sorry to say. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But then even if they get in the Super Bowl, I don't think they win. I think they lose again. Um, Suck it, Bills fans. Deal with that. I do enjoy the little buffalo on your guys' helmet though. I like that a lot. Out of all the New York teams, the Jets, the New York Giants, and the Buffalo Bills, Buffalo definitely has the coolest logo. Hands down. Hands down. And I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I was part of the Jets somewhat. um, I guess moving on to next week is we got two games. It's the championship. Championship week, boys and girls. Championship week. Um, let's see if they have the times out. I don't know if they do yet, but let's take a little glimpsey and see what we got going on. No, no, no. Oops. There it was. There it is. There she be. So it will be both of them on Sunday, and the first game will be the Commanders and Philly. So obviously, Commanders are going to the Philadelphia Eagles, and that'll be at 2 o'clock on my birthday. Let's go Eagles! And you heard it here. That's my pick. I'm taking the Eagles. I want the Eagles to win. I hope the Eagles can win. I have nothing really bad against the Commanders. I wish they were still the Redskins. The Redskins was a badass logo. Indian on the side of their helmet. That was badass Indian. Anyone that didn't think that was badass and anyone that thought that was politically incorrect, you're an idiot. Because that's a badass logo. It's all about logos. And if you didn't like the name, hey, you could have changed the name, but you could have left the freaking logo. It's a badass logo. And taking that away is criminal. So, because now there's a W on it, and the W looks absolutely stupid. What is this, a college team? And they'll be, oh, the Green Bay Packers, they got a G on it. The Washington Commanders started their team with a W on their helmet and had it for decades and decades of years. Then I wouldn't say anything. So, to that, shed it. So yeah, truly, if the Commanders end up winning this, I wouldn't care too much. If the Commanders win, I don't think they win the Super Bowl, but I've been wrong before. Truly, I want the Eagles to win. We're taking the Eagles. Eagles over the Commanders on Sunday, early afternoon. So then we move on to the absolute atrocious game, which is Bills at Chiefs, and that'll be at 5:30. Here we go. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't like anything they stand for. I don't like anything they do. Um, they're not a good team. Prove me wrong. They're not good. Show me any stats this year where they're like top dog or even top three. The only thing that they're top at is getting the refs to throw them some flags. It's all they're number one at. So we now have Josh Allen coming into Arrowhead, which he has never beat them in the playoffs. Ever. He's 0-3. And he has to beat the Chiefs and the refs, which is going to be a tall, tall order. And I would love to be proved wrong and have these Bills come in here and absolutely decimate. Not even a close game, but just slaughter. They put like up 40 points, and Mahomes only puts up 14. That would be the cream on top of the cake. And I said that wrong, but you know what? I don't really like cake. I don't like cake, unless it's ice cream cake. I don't really know how cake's made, to be honest with you, because I don't like it, so I'm never gonna make it. But yeah, I just and I know there's Chiefs fans out there that are absolutely in love with that, and that is totally fine. I am not trying to be like you freaking fans. You suck. You're the worst. But I'm just saying, when the Patriots were really, really good, when they're winning Super Bowls, they did it because they were really freaking good. Or here's a better thing, they were cheating. I can take that And I can be like, okay, that's why they're doing it. But the fact that the refs are giving them these games, and everyone, as in other fan bases, can see this, have light bulbs going off. Something weird's going here, but it doesn't. So I know there's a ton of people out there that don't want the Chiefs. So if the Chiefs end up losing and the Bills win, hey, Bills fans, you not alone are you guys going to be celebrating because you're going back to a Super Bowl in like what 30 plus years, 35 plus years since the early 90s. Um, you're going to have all us other fans cheering because you kicked the Chiefs' ass. Please go out and do that. I'm hoping the Bills can just dominate that game so we don't even have to worry about the refs even remotely getting in the middle of that. Because if that's a close game, guess what? The Bills will lose because the refs will step in and they'll put their little magic fingers out there and be like, fly, little flag, fly. And that's just not right. So, truly, let's go. I would love to see an Eagles Bills Super Bowl. That's all I want. That's all I want for my birthday. Let's make it happen. Um, to be on the realistic side, it'll probably be Eagles versus Kansas, and Kansas will win the Super Bowl. So I hope you guys are ready for everyone to be like, the Chiefs are the greatest team ever. They went three-peat. Because that's what's going to happen. And it sucks, and it's gross, and they don't deserve it because they haven't been good. They rely on the refs and their flags. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully the Chiefs lose and we get a spectacular Super Bowl. Otherwise, it will be a terrible Super Bowl. Will there be a lot of eyes on it? Probably, because you know who's going to be there? Taylor Swift and all the Swifties that go along with it. And I don't hate the Swifties. I don't hate Taylor Swift. But you know what really drives me nuts? Is the fact that the NFL lays down and they're like, you know what? Taylor Swift's going to all these games. We gotta have the Chiefs win because if we don't have them win, she's not gonna want to come to the games, and then other people aren't gonna want to come to the games. So we gotta do that. And if you don't believe that's actually happening, you you need to be knocked in the head with a hammer so your brain gets fixed because that is happening. Uh, so other than that, this week was a lot better football than the wild card weekend when I thought the wild card weekend was going to be a great freaking game or week. And we had one good game. And out of all these games that we just had, um, the Bills and Ravens was probably the best game. It came down to the very end. Man, Ravens, Andrews was so close. He was right there. Had the ball in his hand, dropped it, unfortunately. He had that fumble before. Feel bad for Andrews. He's great tight end. Couple bad issues there. It was snowing, but you gotta play professional football. That's what you're paid for. So it's unfortunate. They were damn close. That was a fun game to watch. The Eagles and Rams actually was a decent game to watch for the most part. It was kept it close. Um, the Lions and Commanders that fell apart really quick, and then it looked like the Lions were kind of coming back, and then and I guess to go off all this too, well, the Chiefs and Texas game was absolute terrible game to watch, but all this roughing the passer stuff, whatever, just be more consistent. They've gotten better at being consistent, but this is where they're completely on opposite ends. If it's Patrick Mahomes, everything's a pass interference or a illegal contact or unnecessary roughness or whatever. Touch or even think about staring at Patrick Mahomes or it's a penalty. But then all the other quarterbacks over here are treated this way. There was a bunch of games um, in the Eagles game with Jalen Hurts, and then also in the Ravens and Bills game where the quarterback, if that would have been Patrick Mahomes, 15 yards, first down, every time. And Patrick Mahomes doing that flop, even though he didn't get no one got any penalties, so thank goodness. That's a bitch move, dude. That is a bitch move. Either get out of bounds or man up and take the hit. Stop being a little bitch. Don't be like NBA players And I get people like, you gotta play the game like that. No, you don't. You can not be a bitch and play the game, a person with integrity. Because I know for a fact, Patrick Mahomes right now, if he continues down this trend of how he's playing, he will not be remembered as the best quarterback. Even though the NFL will want to shove it down everyone's goddamn throat, he will be remembered as the bitch. Put that in your freaking pipe and smoke it. Hmm. Um, Other than that, if you guys caught the Chili Bowl, that was just this Saturday too. Kyle Larson, my boy, from back there. There's a jacket, right? Um, and then there's also Kyle Larson car right there. Casey Kane, we got Dale Earnhardt, we got a Ward Burton, also Ward Burton whoop, at the top. There's a Dale Jr. car. So, um, also I don't buy the Gen 7 car because that car is ugly as sin, and numbers belong in the middle. That's where they belong. So you'll never catch me buying a Gen 7 piece of garbage. But yeah, that Chili Bowl was spectacular. And if you've never watched any of the Chili Bowl, I highly implore you next year. It's around this time. If you go follow Mustard Cats, we're gonna start trying to get better at disclosing a lot of that stuff so people can start trying sports out, or at least seeing, oh, and then you can try it out and be like, that is a pile of hot garbage. I don't know why they told me to do that, or be like, um, but it's a whole week's worth of racing. It's very simple to understand. Flow Racing did a really good job of explaining what you have to do to transfer and all that, and it's not too difficult to understand. So very very highly recommend it. It's just fun. It's exciting. They keep it exciting. There's no gimmicks, no bull crap like that. So if you've ever watched NASCAR and you're like, this is the boringest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life, this is complete opposite. You have races that are anywhere from, was it 7 laps, I think, or 6 laps, all the way up to the main event, which is 40 laps. No long races, a lot of small races. So you get different, boom, boom, here's another, here's another, here's another. Really fun, exciting. Other than that, like I said, we'll get into a little more hockey because hockey playoffs are going to be coming up here. Sharks will not be in it, unfortunately, but I love the Sharks, so I'm going to represent them. And we'll get into some basketball. We'll have some March Madness. Will be coming up here in like two-ish months. So that's less than 2 months. That's coming up. So get ready for that. So we're just kind of railing out some football here. Tomorrow, if I have this out by tomorrow, which maybe I will, maybe I won't. The Ohio State Buckeyes are going to Notre Dame, the big college game tomorrow. Other than that, we will catch you guys in the next one. We got some guests lined up. I had a guest, like I said, lined up, but it was a combination of things. I changed up the date. He got a little busy that day, so it is what it is. You just had to deal with me today. We'll get Gary and Sam back on here because they're part of the Mustard Cats. And other than that, make sure you guys subscribe to us, all of our social medias, even TikTok. And don't forget it, we have a website, so go to www.mustardcats.com. Check it out. We have products on there. We're gonna have some cool stuff coming up here. We have our own Mustard Cats sports series, kind of like a um, fantasy football league, kind of similar to that, but same but different. So that will be rolling out. I don't know the exact time. We're trying to hammer stuff out, but stay tuned for that. It eventually will be on our website, but go subscribe to everything, Mustard Cats, and we'll keep you updated on all of our social media. Other than that, in the comments, who you guys think will be in the Super Bowl, who you want to win, who you don't want to win. Get it all down there because no Chiefs. No Chiefs. Anyone but the Chiefs. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week and have a mustard cat kind of day.